Have you ever noticed how some people buy a broken car with more excitement than they felt in years, only to let it slowly rot in the garage? Not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because finishing it would force them to confront something terrifying about themselves. And the truth is, the car was never really the project. It was the dream of becoming someone else. A better version, a more complete version. But the longer the car sits unfinished, the more it starts reflecting a painful psychological pattern most people never notice in their own lives. This isn't just about project cars. This is about why some people stay stuck in almost forever. There is a specific kind of person who buys a broken car and calls it a dream. They pull it into the garage on a Saturday morning with a coffee in hand and a feeling they haven't felt in years. Something close to hope. And then quietly, without any announcement, the car just sits. Weeks pass, then months. The coffee cup gets replaced by a layer of dust. And the person keeps finding reasons why today isn't the right day to start. You probably know someone like this. Or maybe, if you're being honest with yourself, you are someone like this. There's a particular silence that lives in a garage with an unfinished project car. It's not the silence of neglect. It's something heavier than that. Something that, if you sat with it long enough, would start to tell you things about yourself you weren't entirely prepared to hear. But this isn't really about the car. It never was. The car is just the object, the container, what lives inside this pattern. Inside the buying, the planning, the slow abandonment, is one of the most quietly painful psychological cycles a person can run on. And almost nobody talks about it honestly, because to talk about it honestly, you'd have to look at yourself in a way that most people spend their entire lives carefully avoiding. So let's look. The behavior on the surface seems straightforward. A person becomes interested in restoring or building a car. They do the research, they feel the excitement, they make the purchase. And somewhere between the purchase and the first real obstacle, a seized bolt, a rusted subframe, a parts cost that suddenly doubles the budget, the energy drains not all at once, gradually. The way light leaves a room in the evening. You don't notice it happening until you're sitting in the dark. And here's what's interesting about that moment, psychologically. The person doesn't usually quit. Quitting would require a decision, and decisions require confrontation. Instead, they pause. They tell themselves they're just waiting for the right part, the right weekend, the right mood. The project doesn't end. It just stalls indefinitely. And that distinction is not accidental. The pause protects something. What it protects is the dream. As long as the car isn't finished, it still holds all its potential. A finished car is a real thing, with real flaws, real limitations, real disappointment built into its reality. But an unfinished car? An unfinished car can still become anything. It can still become the version you imagined on the day you bought it, when the idea of it was more vivid than anything you'd felt in a long time. Psychologists call this potential-based motivation, and it operates on a very seductive principle. The anticipation of a reward activates the brain's dopamine system more powerfully than the reward itself. Which means, in a very literal neurological sense, wanting to finish the car feels better than finishing it. The dream, untouched, is more emotionally satisfying than the reality, completed. And so the brain, without ever consulting your conscious mind, makes a quiet calculation. It decides that protecting the dream is safer than risking the disappointment of completing it. And the car sits, and you tell yourself it's about time or money or the right weather, and you almost believe it. But the pattern goes deeper than dopamine. Because if you look at the kind of person who chronically starts projects and doesn't finish them, not just project cars, but businesses, creative work, relationships, degrees, you start to see a particular relationship with identity. Specifically, a relationship where their sense of self is tied not to who they are, but to who they are in the process of becoming. The unfinished car is, in this reading, not a failure. It is a self-portrait. It says, I am a person who is working on something. I am a person with vision, with ambition, with a project. The moment it's finished, or abandoned entirely, that identity disappears. And the question that replaces it is one they're not ready to answer. Okay, so now what does that make me? This is what psychologists refer to as an external locus of meaning. Anchoring your sense of purpose to something outside yourself. Something ongoing, something that can always be pointed to as evidence that you're going somewhere, even when you feel deeply, privately, like you're standing still. And here is where it starts to feel personal. Because most of us, if we're sitting with this quietly, can feel the shape of this in our own lives. Not necessarily in a garage, but somewhere. A book you've been meaning to write. A fitness goal you've circled back to 17 times. A conversation you keep almost having with someone you love. The project car is just the version that takes up physical space, that you have to walk past, that you have to explain to people. And that explaining, that's where the loneliness comes in. Because there's something quietly humiliating about a stalled dream, especially one that other people can see. Every time someone asks, so how's the car coming along? There's a small internal flinch, a brief scramble for a version of the truth that sounds like progress. And over time, the person stops inviting people into the garage. They stop talking about the project. And slowly, the thing that was supposed to be a source of pride and connection becomes a source of quiet shame, something they're carrying alone. What began as enthusiasm, as a feeling often of wanting to build something with their hands in a world that has become increasingly abstract and digital, has turned into a private burden. And somewhere underneath that burden, if you dig carefully, you'll usually find something that has nothing to do with cars at all. You'll find a person who learned, somewhere early in life, that finishing things exposes you. That completion invites judgment. Maybe they showed someone something they were proud of once, and the response wasn't what they needed. Maybe they finished something and it simply didn't feel as good as they thought it would. And that gap between expectation and reality was so disorienting that some part of them decided never again. Better to keep reaching than to arrive and find out arriving isn't enough. And so the car becomes a way of staying in motion without moving. A way of feeling like a person who is building something without ever having to confront what it means when the building stops. Here's the shift that's worth considering, though. And this is the part that most people miss entirely. The problem is not the unfinished car. The problem is the story being told about what finishing would mean. Because somewhere in the psychology of the person standing in that garage, completion has become conflated with exposure, with failure, with the end of hope. And that story, however understandable, however human it is quietly costing them something enormous. Not the car is just metal. What it's costing them is the experience of actually living inside their own life instead of perpetually preparing for it. There is a version of that person who finishes the car, or who consciously, clearly decides not to, and in either case, moves forward. Who doesn't need the stalled dream to feel like someone on their way somewhere? Who can tolerate the ordinariness of completion and find that it contains something the dream never could? Reality, presence, a thing that actually exists. The project car, in the end, is a mirror. Every dusty, half-disassembled, eternally almost finished project car is a mirror. And what it's reflecting isn't incompetence or laziness or lack of time. It's reflecting a person who hasn't yet made peace with what it means to fully commit to something, to the risk that comes with caring completely about an outcome you can't control. And so the question worth sitting with, not just about the car, but about everything in your life that has been parked in the garage of almost, is this: what are you protecting yourself from by never quite finishing?